Hey everybody, how are you guys doing?
Hey, how are you?
It's
So,
Davina here,
and Corinne, and we are
embracing
embracing Genesis.
Genesis.
So, today we decided to do our recording a little different. As you can
Yeah.
see, we have to do live stream. And so, well, actually, we're recording to do live stream or whatever it's called. But we decided that we're still going to do the same thing that we usually do. And today we're talking about planning. And we want to decide, talk about what type of planner are you? And we have categorized two types of planners. Davina, you want to take it?
Yes, so there's two different types of planners. It's the move, get out the way planner, and it's the slow and steady wins the race. And if you haven't noticed anything about any of our videos, we are clearly two different personality types and two different planning styles. And so you
Yes.
saw Korean going like this earlier. She is definitely the slow and steady wins the race planner, and I am the move, get out of the way planner. Now, both of them sound good, but we have our benefits, but we also have our shortcomings as well. So
Yes.
today we're just going to have a conversation about, well, what's the benefits? What does it really mean to be a slow and steady wins the race planner? And what's the benefits of being a move, get out of the way planner? And what's the
Hmm.
cons? And so we're just going to have a general conversation about it so you guys can learn and figure out which category you fall into. So, Corinne, talk a little bit about slow and steady wins the race planners. Like, what does that
Okay.
mean? What does that look like?
Okay, so slow and steady wins the race planners is I'm very detailed oriented, and I'm gonna give you a pro and a con in this statement. So
Okay.
the pro is I like to know everything that needs to be done before I get started. So that way I can kind of plan out how I'm going to move, so to speak. The con about that is sometimes I get so caught up in the details of how things are going to go because I got to know what is it going
Yeah.
to end up like. You know what I'm saying? Well, what happens if I do this but I don't do this? And I get so bogged down into the details that I never start. So I'm just going around and around in a circle, going through details, and I didn't do a thing. You know what I'm saying? So it's well planned out, but I didn't do
Right.
anything. So that's the pro and a con of the slow and steady. It's like, you get all the plan, you get all the details and everything's worked out. And okay, we're going to go from A to B to B to C to C to D. And then I'll get stuck in D and be like, well, I got to go back to A because something
Oh,
ain't
before
right.
you know it, you finished the whole alphabet.
And never started. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? So that was like the one of the downfalls of being a slow and steady wins the race type of person because you just like I just gotta know what's gonna happen. And there are times when you just don't know. It's not until you actually get going that you know how things are gonna go.
Right.
And yeah, that's one of my faults right there.
So the move, get out of the way planners, it sounds just like what it is. You have we're more global thinkers or visionaries. So we get this idea and we say, yo, let's make it happen for ourselves.
Hmm.
The only issue is we don't really stop and think about what we're doing. It's just like I know my destination. So there is no plan A, plan B, plan C. It's only one plan, and that plan gotta work. And so our issue is when it's not working, we will run through the obstacles, whether but we don't stop to say, okay, let me reset and really plan. We just say, what's that, a bulldozer? Bam, push it out of the way and kind of keep on going, right? And
Yeah.
so we're very global minded, global thinkers. Big, or you can consider the big picture. We just like to see the big picture. We don't need all of the fine details as long as we have
Hmm.
the let's as long as we got a skeleton, we're good. We don't need any
Yeah.
meat on the bones, just a skeleton, and baby, we'll make that thing work, and we'll add flesh as we kind of go throughout it, right? And so, one of our downfalls, like I said before, is that we don't plan effectively. It's not that we don't plan; we have a plan in our head. Our plan is this is our starting point, this is our end point, make it happen. That's
Yeah.
so So we do have a plan, and we get our big goals are in place. But it's just we don't have what we might consider an indicator or fine details and pinpoints so that we can make it to our destination. So what happens is sometimes when we get going, although we'll make it to our finish line, we might make it to our finish line with some delays that we would not have had if we would have took the time to plan. And so although we're going to make it to the goal, we just spend way too much time trying to maneuver around obstacles that didn't have to be there in the first place if we took a moment to plan. So I'm going to speak directly to one of our mutual friends, which is Jamie. Jamie is a move, get out of the way planner. And in our book, we actually have an embrace and planning section in the book. And she wanted to skip it.
Yeah.
She wanted to skip it because it made you stop and plan. You had to think about your month and think about your week and then think about your day. And it was too much thinking and not enough doing. But I need for everybody to understand, including myself, it's okay to stop and think. And so I'm becoming much better at the stop and think, Koren, only because, and it really was because of writing a book, because we're both different planners. And we had this conversation, and it was like, you moving too fast. And I was like, and you moving too slow. And then after that, we started having Sunday meetings to kind of plan the week so that we can both get on the same pace together, right? Not one moving too fast, not one moving too slow, but us pacing everything right there together. And so I have become a more effective planner, but it's definitely still a place that I need to work at because my personality is just a go, move, and do personality. But I can be so much better if I stop and plan.
Yes. And my personality is so much of, just take your time and, when it's happened, it's going to happen. There's no need to rush. You know what I'm saying? Like, and so, but there are times where I have to move a lot quicker. You know what I'm saying? There are times where, instead of thinking and overthinking, just go. You know what I'm saying? And then, plan as you go along, you know what I'm saying? And then as you work out those details, you know what I'm saying, you'll be able to overcome the obstacles. But I get so bogged down into, well, if I hit this obstacle, then, what's going to happen here? I got to plan that out. You know what I'm saying? So, so with us working together, it has been a great fit because when we get to those places of, okay, look, we just need to go and start moving, you're great at that. And then I'm like, well, let's look at how we're going to do this. And how are we going to do this, before we just jump into it? So it works out perfectly, but you do have to know what type of planner you are before you begin to move into things, because not knowing can end you in a whole nother place. And that's not where we want you to go. Like we always say, your vision is waiting for you. And so therefore you have to know exactly what type of person you are, so that way you can be able to skillfully work through your visions. And a part of that is, just like last week, we prioritized, and now you have to plan. It is essential to making sure that you get things done.
Right. And pretty much everything that you just said is that you have to find that balance. And so to move, getting out of the way, people together, we gonna get it done, but we run into some obstacles. And then too slow and steady wins the race people together. Lord,
it ain't never gonna happen.
Never gonna cross the starting line, right? So, you gotta have, whenever if you're working on a team. And so let's just throw out a business principle, right? A leadership principle. Whenever you build a team, you got to build a team with different planning styles, different personality styles. Why? Because sometimes just having the other mindsets on the team, the other ways of thinking, it makes you more effective as a team. So if you're trying to build a team of everybody that's just like you have already failed. Go back to the drawing board and find some people who think totally different than you, because you're going to be so much better because of it. So is there anything else you want to add into this segment?
Just don't be afraid of, different, like you just said, different personalities is what builds a great team, because it allows you to see from different perspectives. So there is, wealth and growth and diversity. You know what I'm saying? So don't be afraid of something that's different from you, because it will give you a different perspective. And embracing your Genesis is all about conquering your fears and doing things a different way, so that way you can push forward to your destiny and move in your vision and your purpose. So that's pretty much all I got.
Well, we thank you all for joining us for another segment of Embracing Genesis. This time we was focusing directly on embracing planning. What type of planner are you? Are you the move get out of the way type of planner, or a someone steady wins the race planner? So we thank you for joining us, and as always, night night.
Good
And follow us
night.
on Facebook,
Instagram,
Twitter,
and of course, YouTube.
and YouTube. So thank y'all. Bye bye.
Bye.